Welcome to West Virginia. Tell me about your player base again, please.
Can I put the tinfoil hat all the way on since you
Sure.
only wanted to like let it hover? He's aggressive.
It's like last night, baby. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Welcome to Me This Be With You, America's most concept of a TCG podcast. We don't have a podcast, but we've got a concept of one. I am, of course, joined by America's newest, and dare I say best, executive.
Congratulations, Josh. Everybody leave a comment in the comment section. Congratulations, Josh.
Not an executive, but
go over
does it make me better than Bob Iger?
Go over to Mr.
CEO.
Hometown TCG's Mr. Homertown TCG's YouTube channel to go congratulate him on his big raise.
I hate you all. I hate every single one of you.
CEO.
I expect that you will not ask for things that cost anymore.
That's I don't buy from you. That's why.
Are you gonna continue the intro, or
And you need to stop interrupting people. And I am, of course, joined by the world's ruinest podcast host, the man who would eat your dog, eat your cat, hide your children, hide your wife, hide your pets,
George. I don't know where that came from. Rough. We're joined by George, who is a little on edge today. I gather.
Just exhausted. I've been home for 15 minutes.
That's not my fault. And
That's not my fault.
I have told you to stop traveling for 2 years now. I have said that you need to take a break.
That's
true.
will.
I will. You know when I will?
Yeah, when ALS is solved.
Or when I'm dead. One of those two things will happen eventually.
All right, everybody. Well, welcome to the podcast. Hopefully you enjoy it. Today we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. We're going to talk
I don't really care that much if you enjoy it or not.
We're going to talk about Duskborn and those who are already breaking it on whatnot. We're going to talk about Netflix. The Netflix Magic series is dead. We're going to talk about all the big... Sorcery's back. We had no sorcery topic last week. There was nothing to talk about. This week, plenty to talk about.
George making rules for sorcery gameplay.
We got Lorcana.
I will change the rules until I start winning. It's not that hard to understand.
We got Lorcana set 6, and then George has a Shoreshire Shosh that we're going to talk about. So,
can we pause and just mention that you're getting very good at that? Like, terrifyingly good.
Yeah, it's going to be bad when somebody... I actually don't know how to pronounce the right one now.
What do you season your burger with? George. George or
Shoreshire Shosh. I practiced that for a while. All right, so Duskborn, we had the preview this week. Full set is pretty much kind of out there now.
Yeah.
That was the least conviction. The full set's kind of pretty much out there.
Well, it's like not officially out there, but it kind of is now because people started streaming it on whatnot. Also, 0 cuts for me anyway on collector boxes and all the things. But I did hear from GTS that the supply was lighter than Bloomborough, but not significantly. So, kind of an interesting thing for the set. But what have you followed anything with Duskborn, either of you two?
Yeah, very closely.
I followed all.
What do you want to know? I can talk to you about it. I think the ley lines are going to be really hot this set. I think those are going to be really like the banger cards from this product.
You're retaining information. You do care.
You do care. It's cute.
I care.
It's cute that you pretend that you don't, that you think you still have to be like a 7th grade boy.
We should, next time we see you, you're getting pets. You're getting good job.
Ley lines, like they're the ones that have the 2 sides of the card. Like they're just really...
Nope.
Don't care that much.
Yeah, you don't care that much.
What are those cards? We talked about them last week.
Those are
rooms, dude. Rooms.
They're called rooms.
Big Munchkin, kick down the door.
Dude, Munchkin, worst game ever.
Ooh, bad take.
I own the entire set of Munchkin. Love playing Munchkin. Terrible game. Whoever gets to 9 just
welcome
dies.
to sorcery.
Whoever gets to 9 just dies. You cannot win that game if you get to 9 first. It's not possible.
Really? How do you feel about Commander?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But you can't get to 9. If you get to 9 first in Munchkin, you lose automatically.
Get good, kid.
There's too much power in the hands of the other players.
Most underrated Munchkin is the Conan the Barbarian Munchkin. Super funny.
That's fair. Yeah. Everything Munchkin's funny though.
It is.
Their humor is
George, this is right up your alley. It's not even a TCG.
Did you guys, speaking of things that are semi-related, did you guys see the new South Park Ultimate Guard stuff?
No. What?
There's a new, let me pull up an image of it.
We are going to talk about Duskborn shortly, but I am fascinated by South Park.
There's a new set of, Ultimate Guard. They're called Squaros. This is coming out. I bought some for my store. They're called Squaros, and they're let me see if I can send you guys this in the Discord. It's like a box, and it's a school bus.
What? What is going? Are you showing the viewers?
That's amazing.
What is going?
That's amazing.
And there's 9 of them. There's 9 different deck boxes, and there's 8 like characters, but they did 2 for Kenny, and one of them is dead Kenny, and the other one is alive Kenny.
Hold on. Do these hold 100 double sleeve cards?
I assume so.
That's amazing.
And then they have a couple more coming soon.
I like that.
100 holds up to 100 cards in double perfecta sleeves. Yeah, so I would guess.
So they hold commander decks. This is going to sell like crazy.
Yeah, I bought one of each for myself. And
can you just buy the set?
No, you have to buy individual. They're expensive too. Like even like store.
How do you get the school bus?
The school bus is $70. Well, it's like I think MSRP on it is $75 or something.
Well, better revoke that getting things that cost there, buddy.
I'll order more.
Getting a phone call.
There's Xenoskin too, which is like the best.
Dude, this is how about hold on.
I'll see what Ultimate Guard's coming up. I was a Game Genic person for the last 3 years. Ultimate Guard, they're bringing it back.
This is such a win.
Yeah.
Holy moly, I love this.
Yeah. Okay, back to Duskborn though. Okay, I have a question that George.
When they killed off Chef, that was the best episode ever, I think.
It was pretty good. That was pretty funny.
Disagree. I was a big fan of Chef. I actually don't remember that part of the season. What happened?
They killed Chef off, and like
they had him go away on the. They had him go away on the. The sketchy.
No, don't talk about it.
Is that when they killed him off? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, and then they brought him back.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
They brought the character back. They just used recorded voice lines from throughout the series. They never brought the actor back for probably reasons.
I guess I never knew the behind the scenes of the actor.
And they threw him down the cliff and they shot him. It was great. It was so good. It was like I
don't think I caught the reason behind any of that. I don't think I knew the real life reason. That's great.
Post podcast homework.
Yeah, no, that's good. Okay, question for George that he can weigh in on Duskborn.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
You were all about the furries and Bloomberg.
Yes, correct.
Is horror movie as much of a driving thing
as furries?
As cute forest
as animals? Furries? Of course not. Nothing's bigger than furries.
No, but really?
No, it's not. I mean, like, it's a narrower theme. Like, I mean, people love cute. The amount of people who love cute animals is far higher than people who love horror.
Josh, do you agree with that?
I 100% agree with that.
Who would disagree with that?
So my only
Louis will.
I will disagree with it for the sake of the podcast. You know me. I'm all about content.
I'm into it, baby.
So my only argument is that this set's coming out around Halloween. So your average human who doesn't care about scary movies and horror movies and that kind of thing, all of a sudden, for an entire month, cares about that, right? Like, yes.
And more people than not care about horror movies.
About it, but like, I mean, listen, like
30 days.
I don't care about scary movies still.
It certainly doesn't matter on like November 5th, and like that's going to be the difference, right? Like,
oh, buddy, don't worry.
Why?
Nightmare Bundle's still going to be there.
Yeah.
The pumping secondary market will keep you tuned in. I'm just kidding.
Nightmare Bundle's super interesting still. Yeah. They still haven't allocated that. I wish I could.
True?
It's true as of today. But I think that the Bloomborough has more staying power, but I think this set might be more of an initial hype.
Wow.
There's a lot of hype for this set.
I don't know. I know that. I know what I just said because Bloomberg was so good. I'm doubling down on my Duskborn love.
Do you have
data? Do you have data?
I do, and it's far behind. I haven't prepped a screen share, but it's far behind in pre-sales right now.
Yeah. To be fair, we are just now getting the full spoiler.
Oh, 100%. And we know how it works.
The week where everybody buys product.
Right. And pre-sales ramp up literally. Has the
banana stand done their sale yet or no?
What?
I don't know.
Has the banana stand done their sale yet or no?
And I'm guessing it'll be play boosters.
I think it's gonna be
well, it's always play boosters.
Nightmare bundles.
No.
Dude,
that would be that'd be goat tier. That'd be goat tier status.
On Amazon for half price specifically. Everyone knows how this works.
I believe in the banana stand. I think they're going to do nightmare bundles.
No chance.
What would you name the store that's selling?
Pumpkin stand. Pumpkin stand.
Pumpkin stand.
You got to call it pumpkin pie.
Oh, pumpkin pack's even better.
Pumpkin patch.
Pumpkin patch. Yeah, that's good. Gosh.
Pumpkin pie is the best dessert.
No.
Absolutely.
I hate pretty much anything pumpkin.
I become my inner 40-year-old woman every October. I basically
that does not surprise me at all.
I drink November, but pumpkin spice
into January. February is pretty there too.
If they had pumpkin spice in January and February, you know where you'd see me. I have to make it at home now because of the diet. It's like absolutely brutal.
Have you seen the number of the amount of sugar or calories or whatever in the Dunkin' Donuts?
This is why I just said this is why I have to make it at home because how
many donuts is it?
I saw that. How many donuts equal the drink?
I think it was like 25 glazed donuts worth of sugar in one pumpkin spice latte.
Can I just say, I know we're in the middle of a political season, but this is why this country is number one. This is why we are what every other country wants to be. We're you know what's better? I want my drinks to give me as much diabetes as humanly possible. I want nothing I touch to be remotely healthy. Welcome to freedom, baby. Welcome to freedom.
The only problem with that graphic is it gave me the confidence that I could probably put down 27 glazed donuts.
Yeah. That's what the problem with the graphic was. I was like, oh, you know what I want to do right now? Go eat a dozen donuts and not feel bad about it.
So we might be broken than having I watched Super Size Me and wanted McDonald's. So,
dude, are we gonna talk about Super Size Me? I got some thoughts on Super Size Me.
I just wanted McDonald's.
Hold on. Did you guys see the news on Super Size Me?
I shared it with you. Did I see the news? I gave it to you.
The guy was
an alcoholic.
Was an alcoholic, and then right when he started, he went off of he stopped drinking alcohol. So everything he was feeling was just withdrawal.
It's unclear if he went off of alcohol. He might the alcohol might have caused some of his symptoms.
But hold on.
Everything they told me in school is a lie.
100%.
In the spirit of the Olympics. That's cheating. That's a performance-enhancing substance. 100%. When you're drunk, you can put down so much more McDonald's. 100%. He's literally cheating.
If you rewatch that movie, knowing what we know now, comes across very differently. I'm maybe you shouldn't have done 15 shots before going to see the doctor, big dog. Yes, spitballing here. Just spitballing here.
Wow, we were kind of close when we were on the pumpkin spice because that's similar to Duskborn. Yeah. Now we're out there. We're out there. Okay, so people got.
I don't think that's true.
No,
no. You get a free toy in the Happy Meal at McDonald's, much like you get a free booster pack when you go to GameGrove.gg and pre-order. Actually, you don't because you only get it from ordering in store.
You know what the toy is right now at McDonald's? We should do a weekly toy update at McDonald's. By the way. Basically, it's Karami. It's Karami Cryptid Carnival with Yu-Gi-Oh.
Wait.
Yes, it's a.
I can't tell if you're lying or not.
No, I'm gonna go get it. I have one upstairs.
That would be great content.
It is.
Oh, I thought you meant you were gonna go film yourself going to McDonald's.
No, you got it. My kids had McDonald's today. Welcome to my parenting.
Yu-Gi-Oh delivered a cryptid toy out of a.
Yes.
Fast food restaurant before MetaZoo did?
Yeah, it is.
Damn it, Arby's. Damn it, Arby's. You had the golden ticket.
It's Yu-Gi-Oh character mixed with Kurami. I don't know, from Hello Kitty. And I think there's a cryptid.
There's a Hello Kitty aspect of this too. It's just
that's what
Metasuit.
Kurami is.
It's just Metasuit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, they actually produced something.
That's true, and they
got purchased. That's the rumor. Okay,
I don't know.
So people are cracking Duskborn early on Whatnot, and not just a little early.
Significantly early.
Like early would be like Monday. That would be like, maybe this weekend would be a typical release. It is currently Wednesday, and people were streaming it this morning. Who's getting that product?
The Pinkerton soon when they go to retrieve it.
It's got to be a warehouse person, right?
The second a product hits a warehouse, it's going to be delivered to somebody. Right. So it's tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, is Beauty and the Beast. Thank you, Disney.
So like, what does this do? What does this do to the release cycle? Because they actually put out an email. They actually put out an email like 2 weeks ago that was like, "Hey, here's the rules. You're not allowed to sell product as pack openings now until after the full set is spoiled on the preview panel or whatever."
Sure.
Which was literally like, I think that was that today?
Yep.
So they did it like literally right before that. How does that change things for sales of a set going?
Not at all.
George, nobody wants to hear you breathing into your microphone. You were so freaking bad with the microphone. And then to criticize me for turning down your microphone when you have refused to get a mic stand for 3 years.
I lost it.
Think of how much more talking you could do with your hands if you had a mic stand. Just imagine when you would ask your friends how they felt. You'd say, "Hey, friends, how do you feel about me having a mic stand?" They'd say, "It's the best. It's the best mic stand you've ever had."
The problem is, if I have a mic stand, I can't travel with it. Then you guys whine. I don't have my mic stand with me when I travel.
With the mic.
You told me every time I don't have the mic, you complain about it.
And you still don't bring it with.
I have brought it with me more than half the times.
That's fair. He has. The dedication to the podcast when he travels is actually admirable.
Phenomenal.
That's true. That's fair.
None of us get. Hold on. Let's be fair to George for once.
Thank you.
Out of the three of us, almost nobody gets any value out of this podcast. It's kind of like the people who listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
Nobody gets much actual value out of this whole thing. It's kind of a big waste of everybody's time, to be honest.
I disagree.
But out of everybody here, George gets significantly less than anybody.
He has built a literal country of sleeper agents that are ready to be activated.
He does have the most fans.
He does have the most fans.
We need to monetize the George fandom, by the way. We need George, a new line of George merch every podcast.
All right. I'm not gonna say it right now. I'm not gonna say it right now.
No, say it. No, I gotta know what this is.
Spoil it. Scoobies? Facebook Scoobies?
I am working on a project.
What? Is it a George
I'm working
TCG?
on a project.
He's up to something?
I did not think of George TCG. I'm going to pump and dump the shit out of this. You guys, I'm going to print 5 boxes of it to start. And then when the first one hits eBay, I'm printing 500,000. It's going to be called the pump and dump. Every card will fail the bend test. That will be its call to fame.
No, it's got to be called George TCG. How has nobody made George TCG?
Amen. It'd be great.
Of all the Georges, all the great Georges in the world, George Washington,
our
George
Washington, me. That's it.
George Clooney.
We call him the ugly George between the three of us.
Curious George.
The best one.
Aren't you related to him?
George of the Jungle.
I want you to know, in middle school, that's what people called me to mock me. It hurt.
That was to mock you. George of the Jungle's a beast.
They did
Nobody has ever called you George of the Jungle.
Absolutely. That was a thing. Absolutely.
I don't know, a couple weeks ago? Maybe.
Okay, what's your thing you're working on?
I don't want to say it yet.
Wow.
I have no clue what this is. Josh, do you know what this is?
Nope. Literally nobody else knows.
It can't be good.
No, it's definitely not going to be.
I am not excited.
It's definitely going to be a disaster. But like, I think I finally got guilted into using a certain website again.
Comment section. Oh God. Comment section.
Like
comment
somebody
section.
finally came to me with an idea that was like, this would be great because you could use that website and it'd be really funny and it would piss literally everybody off. And I'm like, baby, that's my love language.
So we're not going to find your YouTube, but we will find your Pornhub. Is that what I'm getting at?
Like, it is like, I'm working on a project.
I don't even want to go there.
I will not be a supporter.
Back to Duskborn. Speaking of horror things.
That is a horror movie.
Speaking of horror movies.
Right, Meathook Massacre 2.
So you don't think that horror theme and scary
Oh my God,
movie...
we're going way back in this conversation. Holy smokes. Welcome.
Yeah, you already skipped ahead to
Holy God.
Opening Duskborn.
Yeah, okay. So how does it affect the market? Not at all?
It doesn't at all.
It in the long term it doesn't.
It also doesn't in the short term.
I think it does in the short term.
Why?
Because you now have people with access to singles that wouldn't normally be out there.
Hey,
like
nobody's getting the cards that early. I mean, even if you open something
you're
on Whatnot
telling
now,
me no one's shipping that. I know you're not supposed to, but you're telling me no one is.
Like, A, I don't break them. I wouldn't ship early. But
I wouldn't thank you.
B, if you, I have to say that because
sure,
I got a random call today from a TCG player rep. Apparently, I have a TCG player rep. I've never talked to my old one, but I got a new one today.
Nice.
He's like, hey man, I'm your TCG player rep. Do you have any questions? I was like, why are your fees so high?
Why do you exist?
I was like, why are we paying you? I've never talked to my previous one. Can you just make your fees like 5% less? And then you don't have to have a job.
Remove yourself from my account and take your salary out of my fees. And
you've done nothing for me ever. So like,
what are they? Is that how you banana stand? Now that you have a rep?
Dang it! I dropped the ball. I should have been nicer to. I didn't. I couldn't do it to him. I was with my kids. I was like, no man, I'm good. I don't need anything. Anyway, so that was. I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't know where we're going.
This is a really great podcast, and it's not my fault. I want the record reflect. I'm on no sleep. I've been traveling nonstop, and I'm on the ball. Louis, not so much.
You're gonna get your cards maybe a day or two before pre-release.
It sounds like they're gonna be comically expensive. Like these are not real buyers. These are gamblers.
That's fair.
Like
it does probably lower the spend that people do.
Whatnot is my arcade. Like there won't be people playing the crane as much. Like these are gamblers. These aren't players.
You could tell me a world where, let's say, the collector box isn't as great, and we find out early.
Yeah, it could lower sales to LGSs.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's affecting the market.
Okay, the thing that we haven't talked about is Duskborn just Karlov Manor 2.0. They both take place in a plane in the house.
Is it the same house?
No.
They should have had Miranda Lambert's The House That Built Me as the theme and done one.
I don't know what that is.
House.
That's got to be something old.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either.
Miranda Lambert.
Oh, by the way, I thought of you today. I thought of you this week, Louis, when I saw your favorite rock band had a great week, I thought, this week.
Oh, stop it.
What? I thought the Foo Fighters did great this week. Foo Fighters were great. When he wasn't attacking a successful woman artist, he was out philandering on his wife. I thought of you.
Listen, I was never a huge fan of the Foo Fighters.
Big fan. Huge fan. On this podcast, it was stated.
I never said it was like my favorite band. I just took the Foo Fighters over Taylor Swift, which I would still do.
Yeah, still do that.
Yeah, of course you would. Of course you would.
Taylor Swift would probably also cheat on her wife. Not going to lie.
Wait, who would?
Taylor Swift. Yes.
No way. She would never. She would never.
I'm pretty sure one of those breakup songs has to be about making a mistake and cheating on one
Absolutely
of the guys.
Not. She would never do that.
I don't know Taylor Swift lore. I'm willing to bet. Josh, I think I should bet on this one, right?
I think you should bet on this one.
I think you bet on this one.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that Taylor Swift has made some mistakes.
Impossible. If he does it, it's not a mistake.
God. Okay, let's move on from Duskborn. Let's get out of the magic topics in general, probably. Netflix is dead. Magic Netflix show
I have a lot to say about Magic topics. You guys are.
This is great. This is a great podcast. I'm on the record to reflect that. This might be an all-time episode.
You guys are poopy stinker butts.
This might be an all-time episode so far.
Did anybody
Pumpkin Spice and David Grohl, my favorite topics.
Did anybody think that the Netflix show was still alive?
I forgot that it was announced.
So, all right, I'll be a little more serious in this one. Like, I think this is like a real. This points to a more serious problem. Like, they have clearly not figured out lore still for Magic, and like every time they try to figure it out, they somehow mess it up further. Like,
why is this
part of me is like, just stop trying or actually commit.
Why is this a problem?
To announce a show about your lore and to cancel it is a terrible look, especially when like you're trying to reintroduce yourself as a company that has lore that's marketable. Mainly because they do that well with D&D. They, in order to make, like, the Star Wars is going through the same problem right now. In order to rebuild lore, you got to have some flops. It's not going to be pretty, and you kind of got to deal with that. You got to work through the fact that everybody's unhappy like right now, and you have to build it up, and it takes time, and it takes a lot of like bad stuff to get there. Magic's going to have to go through
such a Disney stockholder opinion about where Star Wars is and what they're doing.
Hey, my movies have sucked for 7 years, but it's okay.
Hey, we killed the franchise.
I've been clear about this. Like, I think 9's a disaster, and 9 means you're going to have to do a hard reset. Like, 9's going to change the way that they have to interact with Star Wars.
Hey, we killed a franchise, but it's okay.
Yeah, we killed a franchise. You want to bet what'll be the number one movie next summer? I'll put money on that, big dog, if you want.
I will 100%.
You don't think Mandalorian? You don't think Mandalorian Baby Yoda is number one next summer?
Nope.
Let's do it. How much? What do you want? What do you want to bet?
You think it's going to be the number one movie next summer?
Of the summer.
No specific genre. Number one selling movie.
Gross earning box office next summer.
Yeah, I'll take that bet.
I think you take that bet.
I'm taking that bet.
I think you take that bet.
Want to bet a box of Star Wars? Oh no, we can't find any because they're worthless.
No, I don't want to do boxes. I want to do something good. This is
a TCG podcast, right? Everyone, did I walk into the wrong podcast?
Let's do a box of MH3 collectors.
Done.
Okay. Josh, you got that?
That's not the box.
Josh, let's do double it. George owes both of us 2
100%.
boxes, or we owe him 4 boxes.
So far, Disney has had both number 1 and number 2 box office winners this past summer. We're going to do it again next summer. Thank you, Bob Iger.
So you guys are betting an MH3 box.
Yeah, MH3.
Mm-hmm.
And then when does summer start? When does summer end?
No, they have the seasons on the thing, on the Hollywood Reporter.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. We're going by the Hollywood Reporter, not like
what else do you want to use for box office earnings?
Hey, pull up that chart. You want to know who owns the Hollywood Reporter?
Yeah, George.
It's Disney.
His website, flushandblood.com, goes to the Hollywood Reporter.
That's the project I'm working on.
Point to the movie for ticket sales.
It was a long the whole time. It was a long one the whole time.
That's going to be the sponsor of this podcast all summer. That movie, go see it. Buy your tickets at gamergrowth.cg.
Go back to George saying that that this matters to Magic. This doesn't matter to Magic. Because Magic killed all of its lore when they accepted Universes Beyond. Magic lore, Magic lore and Magic IP is non-existent. It doesn't matter anymore. They're going to keep on doing these one-off. This is now a pseudo horror movie because we didn't want to do a full IP thing. That like Magic doesn't have lore now because it's just all these one-off things. That's what it is. That's
a bad take.
It's Weiss Schwartz now. No,
that's a bad take. I mean, like they have to find a way to build their lore up. Or say we're not going to do it. I don't care what you do.
That's what they're doing. They're not doing it. They're just doing one-off sets that are lore no longer matters. Now it is how can we bring in cute furry animals because that will sell a set. Like this is a prime example. Okay, this is the
prime example.
This is the Ice Age booster box. It has been many centuries, the war of Urza and Mishra, battered landscape, blah, 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 blah. Twisted necromancer flourishes in the deep winter, intent on using his powers to keep the world dark and cold. it cares about lore. They cared about lore. Now this is a Lost Caverns of Ixalan. Lost Caverns of Ixalan. Each booster contains a Jurassic World card. What are collector boosters? Which each collector booster are guaranteed to find traditional foils. They care about selling the product and selling as much of the product now. They don't care about the world building and the lore. It doesn't matter to them.
Here's where I disagree with that. Like, I think they see the success of D&D, and I think they want some of that action.
Right, they can do that without building any Magic lore. They just have a D&D set. Another D&D set number 3.
The success of D&D comes from the lore. That's what sells the video game. That's what sells the movie. That's what sells the show. It's the lore. And like that's good stuff. And like they see that it helps the game and it helps the bottom line. And like WotC needs some help on the bottom line.
Like, and I don't know if that's the best.
I don't agree with any of that statement.
What like?
I don't agree that WotC needs help with the bottom line. WotC is printing money right now. WotC has had probably the most successful 2 years ever in the last 2 years.
The top line, not the bottom line.
Why?
Because they have to pay for all the IP rights.
Hasbro has the problem.
Doing hot.
WotC is. This is the point. We've talked about this for 3 effing years now.
Nah, you guys used to talk about bad TCGs, then I got here.
WotC has no problem right now.
Oh, Hasbro's stocking up lately. Good for them.
WotC has no problem. Hasbro, lots of problems. But if you look at just WotC, there's no issue. It's working. I hate it. I wish it would go back to Magic lore. I have a whole nother side of this whole Netflix thing why I think it should matter and what they should do. But like the reality is it doesn't matter for sales and growth of Magic the Gathering.
I don't think they're abandoning lore. There's a world where portal jumping, dimensional jumping. I mean, the story with Outlaws of Thunder Junction, right, was these characters ended up on a plane in a dimension in a scenario, and they're living in that space. That is a type of lore. Magic lore as we knew it from Ice Age. By the way to use a set that released 30 years ago. Like
that's my favorite set.
It's a pretty good set. But yeah, that lore was different 30 years ago. But they're changing how they do lore. The idea of a lifelong story of a character probably doesn't work as well, and it's not as easy to accomplish over 30 freaking years. They're changing how they do things. I don't like it. But to say they're abandoning lore and not paying any attention to it, I think is disingenuous. They're doing it in a way we don't like, and I don't think is as effective.
How are they doing it?
This is how they are doing it. They put lore. So my amazing store manager Moore, when you are in the store talking about Duskborn, he has read every single article they put out. He knows all about the lore. He can tell He can tell you what is going on Duskborn and why it matters and how it connects to Ixalan and how it connects to all the way back to Ice Age, and he can tell you the whole thing.
He learned all that from somebody.
Moore is one of 6 people on the planet who know that and care about that. The other 5 are commenters in the comment section.
But Magic
historian.
Magic was different during Ice Age. The only people who played Magic were more during Ice Age.
I was driving to I did a huge collection buy this week, and we took the collection to Beckley to another store. Shout out to Family Game Night for letting me use your Fizz Batch 9000. And on the way, I got to talking about the Magic Historian episode with one of the guys that was there. I made him watch like half of it. It was so bad, dude.
It was so good. Still the best episode we've ever done by a mile. Nothing else will ever come close.
So bad. Yeah.
Watching you absolutely die for 2 hours. What he gets of history to you.
I laughed at it all.
I remember you calling me the next day in total self-reflecting meltdown mode. It was
that's the more depressing calls I've ever had. That's the next day. During the podcast, took it like a champ.
Yeah. That's what I do, baby.
That's what I do. You do take it like a champ.
Yeah. Okay. Josh, go back to what you were saying about lore.
In Ice Age, the only people who played Magic the Gathering were more. Now Magic is marketing itself to 2 people who play Commander with their group twice a week or once a week,
and they're gonna all four of them are gonna buy the Marvel decks and love playing Marvel Commander together.
Yeah, and every once in a while they'll buy the Bloomborough deck and the Duskborn deck, right? Yeah. In that sense, if Ice Age was trying to reach the same audience when it came out, the lore also would not have mattered. That kind of story is not going to speak to that casual and wide of an audience.
Totally agree.
But
this is my point.
They're doing lore for people like more. They still, you just said it. They're still doing it for the Ice Age fans.
But
the 6 people that are.
They're not.
You just said he knows the lore.
Right. They're doing it. They're not doing it how they were doing it in Ice Age. Is my point.
Because that doesn't work.
Right.
So you wanted to do things that don't work?
No, I am not the person saying that. I've never ever said that they should do that.
I think they're doing lore in the way that works for their company and their game right now.
They don't put any emphasis on that. It doesn't matter, and that they don't put it out. Like they put out a article on their website with almost zero advertisement and zero push for it or whatever. Whereas in the past, they had a booster box, and the booster box literally says exactly what's happening in the story. They had in the fat packs, they had full books. That stuff all mattered. Now it's not worth their time. It's not worth the money.
I mean, like we have talked about companies that have either failed or are failing, that have rewritten the book on lore, that have printed comic books, that have.
I do think having a comic book series would make a lot of sense for Magic, because I think those are really fun.
They have that in Japan, and I believe they have made an announcement that it's coming to.
This is why we don't understand that market. This is our
100%.
Here's why I think they should do something. I don't think they ever will do Netflix again. I think that I don't see that moving forward. Maybe in 10 years, maybe whatever. But like in the short term, I don't think that's part of their plan. I think they should completely obliterate all Magic lore. I think they should start over and make a Netflix series that rewrites, because one of the problems that all the lore people have with Magic is that all the contradictions and things that blah 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 blah
that happen when you've been doing it for 30 years.
Right. They should start over and do a full-on series. Don't care at all about the history of what happened, and bring in a whole new suite of people who care about the new Magic the Gathering storyline and lore. And they can pull characters and they can do things, but they should make that its own separate thing that exists, and that people who do want, the new people who haven't followed it can then hop in and really dive in and learn it. I think that would do really well, and I think if they put the time, energy, resources, money into that, it would have a net positive for Magic the Gathering, and Magic would grow. I do think it would be worth the money and the time and energy to do it. But they don't need to do that to grow. I
think Hasbro has become really scared of failures, and that's not a good way to build lore.
You can tell
Hasbro has become scared of failing, and like that's not going to help them in this situation, because it's going to be hard. Like they don't take they seem to me like a very risk-averse company right now. And that's why they're doing Universes Beyond, because it's guaranteed sales.
Right. Yeah. There's no...
Universes Beyond guarantees a base level of sales.
Yeah. Like, it seems like they have hit the... I mean, like, they short print things like Assassin's Creed, right? Like they knew that wasn't going to generate as much, so they short print that. Like they seem to have been doing that well. The question I have is like, long term, they run out of IPs, right? Like long term, you run out of, I guess, new IPs get created and whatever. But you can't go back to the well. Maybe, I guess you could go back to Lord of the Rings. You could eventually do a Star Wars. There's like
you can go back to Fallout. You can go back to Doctor Who. Right. You 100% can go back to these wells.
Yeah. I guess the question is like, what happens when they put all their eggs in a basket like Marvel, and then it comes out it doesn't do as well as they thought it would?
I mean, like, listen, we just did that with Assassin's Creed. Everyone thought Assassin's Creed was going to do so great.
I don't think Wizards thought it was going to do better. I think Rudy thought it was going to do. I think that's what.
I don't think Rudy was the only one. I think the community had gotten so used to the success of all Universes Beyond products that when they saw the Universes Beyond stamp, they were like, "Oh, this is just going to pump." Did not sell nearly as well. But
I'm gonna take the under on that. I'm gonna go with that. It was mostly Rudy.
I think he was the voice on YouTube because he's the voice on YouTube for most things. I will say you could tell me a world where they do the Netflix show, right? Still, and I don't know if it's going to be a high priority of theirs or whatever is around whenever they get around to doing the show, Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, whatever it might be. They do this show, and like even if they do what you've laid out as this perfect scenario, you're still going to have people complaining that it's not true to Magic lore. It's not real Magic lore. Wizards of the Coast abandon their lore. When it doesn't follow the original
that'll be a loud
story.
voice. That'll be a loud voice for sure.
I don't think you're going to satisfy everyone. I think when you choose the path that is the casual audience and you choose the fan that plays once a week, this is the way you do lore.
Yeah, I mean, like, I also think the average Magic player doesn't care at all about any of that.
Oh, I think we all agree on that.
Yeah, like I can't tell you. I mean, I can tell you some of the story, but I can't tell you anything that's happened. Like more can, you know what I mean? Like, I
can tell you, Standard's coming back, baby. That's what I can tell you. Let's do it.
I do miss blocks where like you knew the lore within a 2-year cycle or whatever, and that mattered, and it was fun to see. I do miss that.
I miss that from the consistent and cohesive design structure, right? Because you knew kind of these sets were going to flow a certain way. This mechanic wasn't going to be the Bloomborough Offspring mechanic that you have to learn now, and now it's gone, right? It wasn't going to be Morph, and now it's gone, right? I liked that because the sets played so well together. You had different ways you could play with block draft, block constructed. I missed that aspect of it. And the story, I mean, it's a nice little touch, but
does Foundations get you back to that a little bit in Standard?
100% no.
Really?
No, not at all. Foundations is another step in the direction of making you not care about your biggest complaint about Standard. I'm trying to find a way to phrase this. People say, I don't want to play Standard because I would pay $300 for a deck and now it's bad in a year. It doesn't work anymore. Foundations is, hey, my mono green deck is built around ramp. These ramp spells are viable in Standard for 5 years. I can find big green things to put on the battlefield, right? It's another step in the same vein that like extending the Standard lifespan was, where it makes you feel more secure to buy a Standard deck and play at a Standard event because in 6 months, half your deck's not going to be illegal.
Right. That makes sense. Interesting. All right. Netflix is dead. That's kind of sad. I was too. When that was announced in, I think it was 2019 or 2017, was it? I was like super excited for it.
I had visions of Arcane. Like after Arcane came out, I was like, oh, this could be cool for me.
Yeah. You could have sets that are specific to the Netflix series too. Like
if George is talking, this is hilarious because I think he's broken his microphone now.
No, he's not talking at all. George, say something.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Now we can. You did try to say something in there and it was muted.
All right. Big week for Sorcery. There are two different things that I think we should talk about. Which one would you guys like to talk about?
But wait, can we really get into them?
They have announced. Let's go in order of how it came out.
Love it.
So they announced new rules, and the new rules that people care about are the new deck size, which is decks are now 50 spells and 30 sites affected with Arthurian Legends. And they came out and said that the reason behind this is that the card pool has expanded, and so they originally wanted the game to be 60 spells, 40 sites, but the card pool wasn't big enough, and that eventually we will get to a big enough card pool to have 60-40.
And so it's going to change again?
That's what they are saying. Is that?
Oh, I didn't know that detail.
Yeah. Well, and it's also going to change the thing that most people got upset about, or sorry, not most people. The thing that the loud people in the room got upset about was Eric's statement that the game was designed from as soon as I lose too many games in a row versus consistent decks, measures will be taken.
I don't normally send you things. When I saw that, I sent it to you.
Is that your reaction, by the way? The eyes?
Right. No. Maybe. First of all, if you didn't name this segment for the viewers, Size Matters, then
I just named it Sorcery is Back. I had so many good intros to my video that I ended up cutting. Like Sorcery's deck size just got bigger and everybody's talking about it.
Sorcery's decks are bulging out of their previous deck box.
It's too far.
Too far. That's perfect.
Actually, speaking of that, I had a guy reach out to me and say, this sucks that they didn't communicate this earlier. I just bought 8 new deck boxes last week that are for 60 card decks. And now I can't use any. He spent like $150 or whatever on decks and deck boxes. Now he has to buy all new deck boxes for his decks.
Get the South Park ones. I mean, like,
yeah, perfect.
This was weird. This landed weird with me. Very rarely does a game, especially a game that, you know, I'm not saying it's huge, but it came out in this. It's huge. This is gonna be a rough segment. It came out and it cemented itself, right? Its presence was known. It was big enough to get notice. Let's just put it that way. And then to change the fundamental structure of building the deck for the game is weird to me. It landed weird.
Yeah, and like I understand the reasoning behind it. Like they want it to be a more like they want more variance. I understand that, and I think that that's an important factor to it. I don't understand the lack of communication about this being the vision for the game.
Do you think it was?
That's what they claim. Like they claim, you know, they
want it to be 60-40.
Sorry, I don't know if they claim it. Eric's screenshot from 8 months ago is being shared everywhere of them saying that it was going to be 60. It's going to be 60-40. That's the goal, and then that was part of the discussion.
Was that a public screenshot or did it like leaked internal screenshot?
No, it's a public in the Discord
so they
server.
did say it.
Well, like, this is the problem. This is why game creators inevitably distance themselves from ever conversating in the servers, right? Like Discord has a habit of causing drama later on of anything that's been said.
I don't think
this is my experience.
This is not. Let's be clear. I don't think this is causing drama. This is a big deal.
So yeah.
So can I ask you this? Like, all right, I'll be that guy. Is this a big deal? Are they like? So if there are way more collectors than players. Like,
sure.
For the very small player base that is Sorcery, this is a deal.
Yeah, this is a big deal to them. Like, listen, this is a big deal to the people who are
to the 12 players at Louis Store.
No,
they show up once a semester.
Stop it! Don't do that.
It's a
don't
big
do that
deal
thing
to them.
you always do, where you
but
pretend like the people who don't care about this.
But like, I don't think. Like, I mean, like this. Like, my first thought was like, oh, this is a big deal. My second thought was like, doesn't affect collecting. No, like it's a collector's game.
So in a lot of ways, this will add to spending. In a lot of ways, assuming that this doesn't remove players from playing, this will add spending to the ecosystem. As somebody who sells a lot of singles, this excites me because now you can have more uniques in your deck.
Bless you.
Yes, you get less. Yes, Philosopher's Stone,
Sorcerer's Stone,
hypothetically goes down in value because it's less usable in the deck. Sure.
Yeah, because Rock can kill it with a 1 cost.
But now you can additionally have Philosopher's Stone and an extra core that you had to cut because your deck size. Like it allows you to add those extra cards. So as it does increase variance, it does allow you to have more of the higher power cards that you.
I don't get this. Like, and this is where I don't get this. Like, go ahead, Josh.
We've already done your players don't matter. It's a collector's TCG on this podcast, and we all saw how that went. So I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
Hold on, but like George makes it sound like that's the attitude of Sorcery, and that's not.
I do not make it like that.
That is not. I am responding to George, who said this doesn't matter because it doesn't affect collecting.
I think that Sorcery, to their credit, is trying to build more players. I think this hurts that cause.
Right.
But I have been very. Hold on.
That is what I feel.
I have been very clear that I think Sorcery is doing what they can to build the player base, but the average person who interacts with Sorcery is still a collector or a pump and dumper. Shout out to you know who.
Hold on. I only think that's true on the internet, though. Like I think that is only true in my comment section. I think that's only true on the Discord server.
You think more people play Sorcery than collect it?
I think more people are inactive in the Sorcery Discord server and on the online community than I think it's probably getting closer to 50-50 and growing in the.
What do you think has more? Are there more players or collectors right now?
I think it's probably more players. I think the market share is very, very heavy in collecting because it started out so much collecting, but the collector base has not grown at all. This is I am fudding it up right now, by the way. The collector base has not grown at all since beta. It hasn't. I can tell you I am
that part I buy.
And the player base has grown significantly since beta. Yes. The player base has grown significantly since beta, since the release of beta. Look at any of the events.
We're not going to hold on. Are we going to get into this argument where you guys go back and forth and neither of you can prove your side? You both just say how you feel.
Well, like
yeah,
I can share with like I can tell you a lot of people have come to. There was the guy who won my event. The guy who won my event started playing at Gen Con. He had only played games with his dad. They played 144 games against each other before they came to my event, and then he won my event against all the people who had played Sorcery at all these other events.
That feels like more the exception than the rule.
No, but
I also don't think that proves anything.
Like, it proves congrats. That one person is probably more than the gross number of collectors who have left or started collecting in the game currently.
So you think of all those packs we gave out at Gen Con to like old school Magic fans, and they were like, oh my god, look at this makes me feel like when I used to open Magic and blah blah blah. We had those conversations. So you think that person played Sorcery and it stuck from Gen Con, but none of that stuck from Gen Con, and none of those people went online and found Sorcery cards and bought them and started a collection. Because you go, that's one guy.
Like, I think what do you qualify as a player then? Because I think the average person that guy that you're talking about probably will never go to an LGS, will never play in an LGS, but they're playing with their collection at their kitchen table and enjoying the game. That I believe firmly that is the average person.
I want to say this on the record, Louis. When I was watching the debate last night and Harris mentioned the crowd sizes at the rally, I had two thoughts like, oh, Trump's going to take the bait. And my second thought was, oh, this reminds me of Louis with Sorcery. Anytime anybody says anything about Sorcery, he leaps into the bait as hard and fast as he can, like a bear who has never eaten before.
My point is, you're shading that person. You're shading that person, right? That plays with their dad at the kitchen table as a player. You have categorized in your entire statement to us. You've categorized that human being that traveled to your event as a player.
Right.
The person who opens a bunch of packs and goes online and buys some cards and maybe plays one or two games at their kitchen table, you're now also trying to categorize as part player. I would categorize that person solely as, if we're going to categorize one as solely player, I'd categorize that person as solely collector. And in that split in that ecosystem, I would argue more than one.
We have a vastly different idea of what a player is then. Like this is not like, take MetaZoo. Let's go with your analogy. MetaZoo, nobody ever played it at their kitchen table. The rules were so convoluted, nobody could even see the text on the cards. Nobody had any clue how to do that. Nobody pursued that. Like, I think that
I would argue that's the only way MetaZoo ever got played, because you didn't have to strictly follow the rules and call a judge. I'm not saying it was in large numbers.
Tried.
That's
nobody even. It's like.
So now nobody even tried to play MetaZoo at their kitchen table.
I'm not saying nobody. I'm saying that the vast majority of people who you were talking about didn't have any intention
I
of
just want to say, last week sucked because there was no Sorcery segment. We should just become a Sorcery podcast to hear Louis rant.
This is
We should become Old Man Yells at Cloud. Welcome to Sorcery, the TCG podcast.
I love you. I'm just trying to get a sense of the ecosystem that we're talking about. Because the idea that this person had stuck from Gen Con and it's just so strong that they're going to play and they're now a player in your mind, and there's no collectors. That I think it's far easier to get someone into the collecting side of things because we saw the reaction to opening the packs. We saw the reaction to the cards. We saw the reaction to the artist.
I'm saying that the mix of people who play and collect is much larger than you are. You are polarizing players and collectors. And I don't think that that's the way that Sorcery is. I think that the loud voice in the room on the player side that are upset about this is 5% of the people who care. The loud voice in the room that you think of as collectors are 5% of the sorcery people, and there are 90% of people who just casually play, casually collect, have cards, care about collecting, and care about casually playing. They're not upset about the deck size. They're not worried about the market and what happens in sorcery. But the two things that you guys are focusing on are these 5% that are polarizing.
Well, you made the topic, right?
You also didn't let me get
topics.
You also went back and forth with George and never let me get to my point. My point is this is a big deal, not because it affects that 5% or not because it doesn't affect the other 5%. What it does is it shakes confidence. What it does is it says, hey, this is something that's unprecedented in TCGs. Most games do not come out and radically change their ecosystem. They don't change their core set of rules. And when you do that and you shake the end that is the most engaged of the tree and start cutting off roots, the rest of the ecosystem is going to be affected.
That's right.
So that's my entire point here. That's why this is a massive deal. Not because 3 people that play at Game Grove are going to scream about it and the other 15 are not, but because it shakes that confidence.
Nobody in my locals cared at all. They were excited about adding cards to the deck and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Like this is in my opinion, like I agree with everything you said, that this is changing the goalpost of the deck size after a year seems lowers the confidence level for sure.
It's much in the sense that erratas are one of my least favorite mechanics you can ever do. In my opinion, when you start errata in cards, you start breaking your own game. Right? Because you shake confidence in your ability to print the card as it's delivered. At least a ban is you trim the limb. Right? It's just gone. You don't have to do that. Every time you play an errated card and you have to go to a secondary rule book, you're like, oh, this company doesn't know what it's doing in this sense, or this was a mistake and they can't fix it. This just does that.
So in my opinion, the negative of this is a communication thing. If this was when beta was announced, it was like, hey, when beta's out, it's going to be a 40 card deck and 20 card atlas. When Arthurian Legends come, we're gonna scale the card game, and eventually we're aiming to get to a 60-40, and everybody understood that, and that was the goal. I think that this conversation would be much, much different. Like if people had known that, I think dropping the bomb, and I think that card games like this sometimes do this to generate like conversation.
Tinfoil hat?
It's not even tinfoil hat. Rudy literally says it. Like he's like anyway. I think that's part of it.
What did Rudy say? What did he tease?
Not in this case, he doesn't. But he's said that about other card games in the past, about having conversations about generating interest because of negativity. I think that is BS. I think that is bad for all games involved. We saw it with MetaZoo. We've seen it with other games.
What's this MetaZoo hate this week on the podcast? We got to work on this.
You need to work on your reality check that you care about.
I am a positive Pete, is what
you need to let go.
The fact that the grass that Mike had on your balls, I thought that
you remember. You know how we react to sorcery discussions? This is you with MetaZoo.
What's with the MetaZoo this week?
Like Mike's gonna get mad at me.
What was hate speech? This is hate speech this week. What's going on this week?
The Louis reaction to sorcery is very much your reaction to MetaZoo, is very much my reaction to Magic. We all have our vices, okay?
None more than Louis with sorcery. None more than Louis with sorcery. So nothing else is close. The only thing that's close is Louis with Pokemon.
You put the tinfoil hat.
I bought a huge Pokemon collection today. I blind bought a Pokemon collection today. I never do that. I always scan each card, whatever. This guy was like, no, I need to. He did not want to hang out. He did not want to do.
You bought fentanyl and the form of Pokemon cards.
You bought fentanyl and stickers.
I know when that is happening. That was not this case.
Welcome to West Virginia. Tell me about your player base again, please.
Can I put the tinfoil hat all the way on since you only wanted to let it hover? This just shows me all sorcery sets going forward, or at least the next couple, are not going to be big sets. Because if the set was big enough, the whole idea of a new set is you build new decks around the cards.
They have
the deck size the same.
They have to do.
They're not going to do big sets. They're not going to.
The next two, while we ramp up to the 60-40, are going to be small sets. So that's what this tells me.
Oh,
they have to do big sets.
They're definitely 220. I think 220 will be the.
I don't think they're doing it. Otherwise,
you think it's gonna be smaller than that?
Otherwise, don't. No, I think it's gonna be that. But if it was gonna be a full-fledged set, just like beta, don't you want to incentivize people to play like a whole deck of the new cards?
So I don't think that saying that is like sorcery standard. There is no standard. That was the first set, and now this is the second set. We don't know what the standard set size is going to be. I would not say that. I don't anticipate that it's ever going to be 400 cards again. I think 220 will be.
So you're gonna do a.
And then it'll be reprints, maybe.
Then we're really gonna get it. We're really gonna get into it because now I'm back on the one set a year.
I mean,
we're
one
really
set a
gonna
year
get
will
into
either
it.
work or it won't. Like it's either gonna.
No.
It won't.
Like I think that's true, but like Michael, importantly, if you're doing a set a year and the set is 500 cards, that's very different than one set a year.
That will
and it's the size
happen.
of a Lorcana set.
Yeah, that will not. Yeah, it will not be a 500 card set.
Okay, 440.
Yeah, it will not be.
So beta will be the biggest set ever.
Yes.
I
think that was true for Magic too, wasn't it? Like
I don't know, but I'm so much
They
colder.
didn't do a
like
set a year for Magic.
I'm so much colder on one set a year right now. If that's the case,
does the Dark have a number of new
my
cards?
sharks are all staring at me like,
It
"Help me, please!"
It doesn't say. I think the Dark was a smaller set. That was one of the first expansion sets. Arabian Nights was only like a 75.
But they used to do a big set and then smaller expansion sets. Like that used to be the model, but you knew the model. It was big sets and expansion sets.
Well, and their big sets too were like reprinting base set.
But then they went back to big sets and then expansion sets.
Right.
Like,
yeah. So I don't know. I that's what I don't want to get. Let's not get into that for the third time.
Third, that's generous. We did a year on this, buddy. We kicked that mule.
I think that I said this in my video. I think they need to come out with a big deal about this attitude that organized play doesn't matter to them. I think it's going to be. I don't know. They say organized play doesn't matter to them, but then their actions imply that organized play does matter to them. They have we're about to talk about the OP kit, right? They have an OP kit. They want stores running events on their play network. They have the dust system that utilizes the play network. Like, I think there's a huge difference between being a casual game and being a game that doesn't care about organized play. I think they do care about organized play. I think when they make announcements like this, it appears as if they don't care about organized play. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like when they say things as like, as soon as I lose too many games in a row versus consistent competitive decks, measures will be taken. That comes across as not caring at all about competitive play. But I think their other actions say that they do.
I don't think you have to care about competitive play, but that statement right there, just again, it just shakes confidence in the core. Like the thing that's supposed to always be there, whether the game creator prints cards that are banned before the set's released, or whether you print 500,000 boxes.
Like, just why did
the core mechanics are supposed to remain the same?
Yeah. My least favorite part about this is people are like, just if you want to play 40-20 card formats, just we'll create a community that will do that.
Don't subdivide your community.
It's not possible. You can't do that. There's
Don't
not enough players.
Community.
There's not
Even
enough
though everyone's a player. Don't do it.
And this is why they need to come out with a tournament structure too. Because every single store, there's no organization for like what should we do best 2 out of 3? What are the round timers? Like what there needs to be a organized, this is how we want events to be run. I don't care if the game is competitive or not. You have to have an organized structure to run a tournament for the game. That needs to happen. And it, like, man,
Wild World Commander has created.
Like, that needs to happen before Arthurian Legends.
You're using phrases like, I need to run a tournament, which is an inherently competitive statement. And then it's like, I don't care if the games during that tournament are competitive.
I disagree with that. I just like.
Well, a tournament is if you lose in the first, you're just out. You're just done. And it's not very casual.
Yeah. I think there are people who want to casually play in tournaments. Like you might not know that.
No. I make this statement about Standard and Pioneer and Modern all the time, and you dunk on me.
I'm agreeing with you.
For the first time. I'm so glad we've got here together. I'm happy to have you. I missed you. You're my friend, and I love you. Thanks for joining me.
Okay, so they put out a kit. A new Sorcery social play kit. And I think they also said that they're reprinting the beta kit as well, which I don't totally understand that. It's gonna have a different something in it, but
holy moly!
Yeah, it's a butt there.
This warrior is cheeked up, dude. Yeah, what is their routine?
Yeah. Does not skip leg day.
Yes, get me in this gym. What is happening?
Does not skip leg day.
Woo! George, is that you? Are you finally on a sorcery card?
How do you know?
This is the thing where I'm like, they do care about organized play. Like this is proof. This is the I don't know. This is where I disagree, where people are like, they don't even care, whatever. Like this is the stuff that they need to highlight of like, this is what we're doing for organized play. So their draft kits, which is a really good step forward. I still think like we need to be able to just spend $5 and buy like a metric ton of these lands, these sites. Like I like they to have to. I think these are free, which is awesome. I'm sure it's like you get a certain number of them for each box that you get, or you should for each number of boxes you get one of these, which is awesome. And I think that is awesome in this. I also think they need to have like, you can buy the draft kits for a bunch of them for $5. You know what I mean? Like, because people need the sites to run events.
Yeah, if you're gonna play around the kitchen table, you need lands.
Yeah. Lots of play mats. So you play mat collectors, enjoy it.
And then just staring at me.
Some
mocking me
promos. This is awesome. I love that they do this. We churn through our beta ones, and all the people got their promos and stuff. It'll be interesting to see like the supply of this compared to. I felt like they did a ton of beta ones. Like everybody in my store got everything they had, and then it was like, oh, what do we do with all these? You know what I mean?
I like that though. I think that's good.
Yeah,
it helps to prevent like the secondary market from getting like a place where stores just scalp them.
Yeah, and like play stuff. You should have extra lying around. You fire a random draft sometime. You got some stuff to give.
Yeah, and like I just give away the play mats all the time.
Massive win.
Like, nobody ever shows up to a sorcery event with a play mat, which is wild to me.
That's because we come from a broken ecosystem.
Yeah,
playmats are currency.
It's wild.
That's how I live. Is I just sell playmats on the secondary market.
And then the other thing I think that's really, again, a suggestion that they are caring about. They hired Drew, who will be working with the operations team with the Play Network and that kind of thing. I think that's a
shout out Drew.
I think that's a big win. Drew's a good dude. We hung out with him a lot at Gen Con. And he's one who's kind of organizing the Sorcery Con in Las Vegas. So I love that they do that. They connect with all those people.
Is there a better way to get people to come to your con than to put it in Vegas? No, I don't think there is.
I want to go so bad.
I can't believe you're not going.
I've been away from my family a lot this year.
Yeah.
They're probably very thankful for
already
that.
Twice for sorcery.
Like, they don't have to be kind to you when you're not around them. When MagicCon comes back to Chicago next year, you're coming again, right?
There was something else that was just announced in Chicago.
It's probably one of those tournaments.
That was a pretty big thing. I remember thinking, oh.
All the good things happen around here.
I should go to Chicago. I also remember being like, it's freezing there at that time. I don't think I want to go to that.
It totally is. But remember that Chinese food?
Dude, that Chinese food was so
pretty good Chinese food.
The problem is I would have to eat there every night.
Yeah.
Like, I think I would want to go there. Like,
yeah, let's gain 30 pounds together.
Why would you go anywhere
else? Find all the weight that George lost, you and I.
I already did that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Good job.
I had a hamburger this week.
All right, I don't really know where we landed on the sorcery.
I had a hamburger. It was good. It was like amazing. Here's the funny part. I'll bet it was a mediocre hamburger. I've never had a better tasting hamburger in my life by a mile. It was the best hamburger anybody has ever had.
All right, Lorcana.
I had no bun though.
Has set 6 coming out, so they're winning and then putting out sets per week.
George, what's the big IP added to this set?
Big Hero.
Who?
I have no freaking clue who that is, by the way. No. And
I love that you took the bait. I love that you took the bait so hard. Oh,
this is
hero.
why I am so confident about the #1 movie next year. The movie did $600 million, and Louis knows nothing about it with a kid.
Well, when did that come out?
2014.
2014? I was fresh out of college, old man.
Yeah.
No kids. Not watching a child's movie because I'm not like you. And like
that's true. You don't have any childlike wonder. I know.
Also,
this is why you like sorcery.
The fact that you're passionate enough about this movie at your age is a little scary.
Big Hero's great. Big Hero's great.
Okay, hold on. What is the premise of the movie Big Hero?
No idea.
What
I
is
googled
he?
it after.
What? Wait, hold on. Don't look at
I
your
googled
screen.
it. I googled it after Donald did it. Put it in the Discord.
What is he? What is it?
He's a big fat marshmallow.
Well, that speaks to me.
It's a robot, isn't it?
Yeah, but it looks like a marshmallow.
Yeah, whatever. Big fat marshmallow speaks to me. I get that. I'm in.
Mind you, it's also not even if it's the big IP in the set. It's not even on their set image. That character is not even on the.
Yeah, I think the bigger news is Alvin and the Chipmunks, right? Isn't Alvin and the Chipmunks?
But like that's a little wild. The big one is the other one. Yeah, the other one. The other one's like I'm much more sure with the other one.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
What is the other one?
No, it's the
Oh,
you're talking about Stitch because Stitch has already been in.
Stitch is already in the game.
The card is Baymax.
That's the guy from Big Hero.
George, your microphone. What is happening? You're humming at us.
Yeah. I'm doing nothing.
You were just humming at us. It was very obnoxious. And Hiro Mada. So
no, I think it's a hero. I think it's a Big Hero thing.
So this is where I feel like Star Wars dropped the ball too. There's just too many characters in these games. I don't care about this at all. I would love if it was Mickey Mouse and
it's the Pokemon problem. There has to be a lot of characters because, like, eventually you can't just keep doing the same 150 characters.
You know what you could do? You could just do one set a year, and then you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, because you won't sell.
I think like Lorcana often wishes
you
they
won't
were
have a
big as
TCG.
sorcery.
That's true.
I think Lorcana's like I wish I was as big as sorcery. They could be a top 4 TCG like Star Wars.
I don't think you can pay Disney and do one set a year. I don't think that's happening.
I was just joking about that. It seems
it was a real take. It's on the record.
It seems like Lilo or Stitch, whichever one is the animal in those two things. I don't know. Is the main character.
Looks good. That's a popular character.
I don't know, man.
He'll do fine.
You think?
It'll be fine. It's Disney. It'll be fine.
So this is one of the first times it does seem the characters, the headline characters, seem lackluster to a casual Disney fan, and I feel like most of Lorcana's fan base is a casual fan base.
Lilo and Stitch are enormous. It'll be fine.
Lilo and Stitch has already been in the game.
Yeah.
So what?
Already happened.
Like nobody goes like, "Oh, Charizard's already been in the game. We could have their Charizard." They do 15 Charizards.
Lilo and Stitch are not the Charizard.
They also have Rescue. They're right. This is way more popular. They also have Rescue Rangers as set. Rescue Rangers will be enormous.
Definitely not more popular. Lilo and Stitch definitely not more popular than Charizard
by far. And Rescue. Like,
I'll take that back.
You can tell them all the Charizard movies, and
I will take that bet.
I think the
Charizard is more.
There's no
iconic.
way to gauge this.
Especially when you're selling cardboard to people.
Absolutely
Charizard
not.
Is really more iconic.
Definitely the comment section.
No. Rescue Rangers is in the set. Rescue Rangers will be a good IP to
It's
add.
not I thought it was Alvin and the Chipmunks. Is it Rescue Rangers?
Aren't that the same thing?
No.
It's Rescue Rangers.
Chip and Dale, is that what that is?
Damn it, Jim, did you lead me astray?
Like I think, like I mean, this like candidly, Rescue Rangers is probably is one of the first IPs that really appeal to me because it's my era. That was my era. That's what I grew up on.
Louis, you want to talk about how old he is? Or you want me to take it?
No, I'm
Rescue
done.
Rangers have you guys ever seen Rescue Rangers? God, I might watch that tonight.
We need to make this the
God, you know what? I'm absolutely gonna watch that tonight. Now that's all I want to watch. I'll be honest.
We're gonna get a 3 a.m. text about Rescue Rangers, and I'm gonna think it's work, and I'm gonna freak out.
God, I have to travel again this week.
Don't you start complaining. That is 100% your choice.
That's true.
You have zero, like, is 100% your choice.
True. Fair and balanced.
And all of your friends and the people who love you have told you need to slow down.
Yes. Also,
what
fair.
Does that drink?
Diet Mountain Dew. Diet Mountain Dew is goat.
No, Diet Mountain Dew.
Oh my God! All right, none of this matters. I got something I need to talk to y'all about.
All right, George's secret sauce.
Okay. That's not the toss. Okay, fine. We can add 2 topics. I was at a house last night, and
hold on. Did the owner of the house know you were there?
Party.
Did the owner of the house know you were there?
Sometimes.
Okay.
And they bought me
the house bought you
Oreo Coke Zero. I need to give a huge world-class shout out to Coke Zero.
No, not just Coke Zero. Oreo Coke Zero is different than
Coke
just
Zero.
Yeah, okay.
I thought, right, when they got it to me, it was one of those moments you're like, oh God, this is going to be vile. And I'm going to have to sit here and drink it and tell you how good it tastes because I want to be a good guest.
Yeah, you and I are different.
That is not my experience with you being a guest, by the way.
That's because you're both assholes. These people are nice to me. And so, like,
that's fair.
It was delicious. It was amazing. I'll say it. I will say it on the record. It was better than Coke Zero. It was better than Coke Zero.
Sure. Anything's better than Coke Zero.
What was that now?
Anything is better than Coke Zero. Diet Coke is the pinnacle of drinks. It's the top of the top.
What?
Sorry,
what?
That's not true. That's not true. McDonald's Diet Coke is the pinnacle.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count. That does not count. You cannot pick and choose.
It absolutely does count.
You cannot pick and choose where you get it.
If you put a can of Diet Coke and a bottle of Diet Coke and a Wendy's Diet Coke and a McDonald's Diet Coke together, blindfolded me, put me in straws, I would be able to tell you all 4 of those.
Everyone. That's not impressive at all. That's not impressive at all.
Then why can't I separate?
If you put my hand on the oven, I can tell you if it's hot or not. Yeah, no kidding, Sherlock.
Yeah, but why doesn't it matter where I get it from then?
No, it matters, but you can't pick and choose for the purposes of this test.
Yes, I can.
No.
You don't make the rules.
Coke Zero is better than Diet Coke.
No.
However, Oreo Coke Zero is better than both.
I haven't tried that.
There's a lot going on here. There's a lot to unpack.
They also had Oreos that have Diet Coke, and it has Pop Rocks in it. Also delicious.
That's hilarious.
You had an Oreo? I thought you were on a diet.
I had one Oreo, and I want you to know I made them take it away from me because I knew what was about to happen. I was like, listen to me very closely. I'm going to have one.
Yeah.
If I see them again, I'm going to step on them and turn them into crumbs.
I think if you put one Oreo in front of me, I want to eat the one Oreo because I know what that would do to me.
It also sounds like these people are assholes who give someone one Oreo.
No, they gave me the whole little sleeve, and I was like, no, I'll allow myself to have one tonight.
Okay, what was your other short Josh?
Okay. There's a topic on the internet I need your guys' opinion on. I will warn right now, I have a hot take on it. Shocking, I know. How long will you leave pizza out for and still eat it?
Forever.
Do I get to microwave it?
Sure.
No
microwave.
Oh, then it's significantly shorter. A night. Overnight.
2 days.
Yeah, I was at 2 days. Somebody said it's like bad for you because it's like cheese, it'll mold. I think that's a bunch of communist nonsense.
Cheese is just mold, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
You can't that doesn't who cares?
Again, I'm the guy that will eat anything though, so probably not the
Not popsicles.
Not popsicle sticks. I still eat popsicles. I just have to wrap them, and now I'm feeling weird. Stop.
So I think
Wait,
by
what do you
overnight
wrap your popsicles in?
The wrapper. I never touch the popsicle
you peel
stick.
the wrapper down and you hold.
I push it.
Yeah,
I do.
It's a cryptic pack, George.
Yeah, I open my every day after nap time. My kids have popsicles. I have to open them for them. I have to push it out, and I have to hand them. I can't. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it anymore. There's another guy in the comment section that understood me.
I think my 24 hours is based on I've never let pizza sit around that long. There's never been an amount of pizza that I can't consume.
My wife is like, you can't leave the pizza on the shelf. And it's like, honey, I had it for dinner. I'm going to have it at midnight when you go to sleep. When you go stand up in the kitchen for an hour and eat pizza and anything else I can find in the fridge.
Oh, don't stand up. You're not an animal. Bring it to the TV. Watch something good. Don't trick yourself.
My nightly routine is eating, standing up in the kitchen. That's like my nightly routine. I can't sleep until I've eaten everything.
You got me thinking about it. There's never been an amount of pizza that's lasted in my house for that long to ever do the test for more than
I remember
24
in
hours.
college, like we would have pizza like just hanging out in the frat house, and you just.
Oh, I mean, college is a different story. If I saw a piece of pizza in college when I was broke, any pizza's game. I'm assuming it's good.
Yeah. Nothing has.
I don't think there's a time limit. I'll be candid. I think I'd do it in a week. I think I'd eat pizza in a week if I found it.
If it's questionable to me, if I look at it and I'm like, this is questionable, I'll slap it in the microwave.
If it's not growing something, if it's still cheese colored, it's good to go.
I think there's a definite time of the day that I would eat week-old pizza. Yeah. I would not eat week-old pizza at noon for lunch. I would not eat week-old pizza at 6 o'clock for dinner. I would 100% eat week-old pizza at like 1 a.m.
100%.
I would definitely do that.
I mean, I think it's fair. I mean, like, I think I would eat for any time, but I think that's right. I mean, like, somebody said like 4 hours. I'm like, that's like, that's
that
like,
person's a communist.
Get off your throne.
That person's a communist.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Well, that sucks. We all agreed on something. It's no fun.
So Gary V had a hot take on our hot dog is a sandwich thing.
It's a taco.
Did you see this? I thought of you.
Did he tell you how to monetize it and say you got to wake up and grind?
He said that it's not a sandwich because of its girth.
And now we're back to sorcery.
It's not a sandwich because it's
it's too girthy.
And now we're back to sorcery.
It's not a sandwich because it is a taco. Like, you don't need another. Gary V, sorry, buddy.
No, there's no taco. Taco can't have bread. You can't have a bread. You can't have a taco.
A taco is any substance that is it has 3 sides. That's a taco.
Well, hold on. What about a gyro?
Not a taco.
Wait.
A gyro is a sandwich.
Hold the phone.
What?
I don't know what a gyro is. Not going to lie.
Okay.
How do you spell that? Is it like Europe?
Yep. EURO.
Is that the GYRO thing?
Yep.
Nailed it.
That's not called a gyro? A gyro.
This is why you're banned from Chicago. The fact that you didn't get murdered in Chicago is truly amazing.
Louis thinks they're stabilizing spacecraft with Greek sandwiches.
It depends on what picture of a gyro or euro you look at. This one is that's a burrito.
We can't see what you're looking at. You do know that.
I don't be better. Watch the podcast. This is.
I'm too smart for that.
That is a burrito. The one I just sent in the thing. That picture of what is this called? A euro?
I don't see it.
It's in the Lorcana section.
That's where it belongs.
That's just a burrito or
how is that not a taco? You just said a taco is anything that goes.
Wrap it like that. Now it's a burrito.
Well, the ends don't go over one another.
It wouldn't be
just like a taco.
Hold on. So there's a whole website.
And also, what is a Taco Bell soft taco then, if not a burrito?
The cube rule. Okay, let's figure out what this is.
Hold on. What is? I have to sleep. I don't have time for you to do finite mathematics.
How dare you? This is the first time this podcast has ever done research, and you're trying to kill it, Josh.
I absolutely am. Stick to your roots. Dance with who brought you. Okay.
Yeah. It's a. Yeah, hold on. I gotta send you guys the whole thing so you guys.
This is so good.
So this is your structure. Is if you think a burrito is a sandwich, you are a structure rebel. It can contain any food, enveloped in any way by containing food. All right, hold on. So,
all right.
The cube rule. So what is how many sides does a euro have?
Gyro.
How many sides does it have? Because that's what matters.
A Pop-Tart is a sandwich. That's the take. I have never heard
really
of that.
100%. It's got a top and a bottom.
Wow. Is a Pop-Tart a sandwich?
Yes. Top and a bottom is a sandwich. A taco is 3 things, which is where I think the euro is.
Pizza puff a sandwich?
I think a pizza puff is just
what's a
godly.
Pizza puff?
What is how do you look like you and not know what a pizza puff is?
A pizza puff is a Chicago delicacy.
Oh, but it's a jewel delicacy.
Pizza puff.
That's our version of a greasy street food cart.
So let me ask you this, Josh: pizza puff better than pizza?
No,
not better than pizza, but it has its place.
This is a hot pocket,
which is also a sandwich, top and a bottom.
No,
wait,
a hot pocket is a calzone. It's a calzone,
which is also a sandwich, top and a bottom.
No, a sandwich is just top and bottom. Calzone is all around.
Then how is a Pop-Tart a sandwich?
Yeah, I would argue that a Pop-Tart's not a sandwich. What are you looking at, George? You're looking at the
thing you sent me.
No,
yes,
if you
we're basing this whole conversation of
this is
this sandwich
what
statement.
you no. Sorry, I misunderstood what I believe.
Okay.
What George is talking about
this podcast, by the way. I was going to start opening Monarch First Edition just to piss everyone off.
What George is talking about is the sandwich alignment chart. So you need to ask this. If you say a hot dog is a sandwich, you are a true neutral, which means that you believe
don't care about anything.
Yeah, exactly.
You're the Big
you have no
Lebowski.
soul. You have no passion.
You literally don't matter in society.
You take the path of least resistance if you think a hot dog is a sandwich. You're just wrong. But that is the alignment chart. So you can figure out a lot about your life and yourself if you look at that. But the cube rule is the part that you guys need to be looking at. And this is my fault because I sent you guys this wrong.
Shocking.
I got too excited. This is what matters.
With you.
Wait,
This is what matters.
Wait, this wasn't even the thing?
No. This is the thing. So
a burrito is sushi?
Oh, yes. Interesting.
Yes, a burrito is sushi.
I think this is worse than the sandwich alignment chart.
Wait, this is so terrible. A Taco Bell soft taco is a calzone?
Taco Bell soft taco?
I think wrapped in bread bowl.
It's just a taco.
No, they're covered on the top. They're
with what?
Itself. The tortilla goes all the way around.
That's just a taco.
You sent us the rules and you're breaking them.
No,
what are you, sorcery? Stick with the rules.
I don't know. I'm so confused now. I don't know what.
So what's a Pop-Tart?
A Pop-Tart is a calzone.
Calzone. That one's the easiest one to answer ever.
Yeah, Pop-Tart is a calzone.
Yeah.
Interesting. A salad
is something we should all eat more of.
No, I should not eat more salads. I have one a day.
All right. This is the podcast, everybody. Thank you for watching an hour and a half in. If you're still here, is a hot dog a sandwich? Where do you fall on the sandwich alignment chart? Because it matters. It matters. Have a great day. Go subscribe to Josh's channel. Give him a congratulations for
CEO
being the CEO of his company, responsible for everything. And go to Hometown TCG.
Homertown.
To subscribe to Josh. Go to George's website to see what George is up to.
Not yet. I got to even do it or not.
And thank you for watching, listening, and subscribing. Be kind to the people around you. May the zoo be with you.
And also with you, Louie.
With you, dude.